So this is the most comprehensive guide on YouTube on how to learn AI in 2026. It covers both practical and theoretical aspect, giving you a full understanding of AI and where it's headed and ultimately how to use it. So let's first start off with something that is super important, but majority of people misunderstand it. And this is really the reality check. So obviously we can tell that this space is super fast, uncertain, and full of opportunity. If you play with any of these tools, every week they are changing. I mean, in 2025 alone, it felt literally like every other day there was either a new update, something being pushed by these big companies, and it was very hard to keep up to date with all these new updates. And so things are changing very, very fast. AI models evolve monthly. All right, what works today might be obsolete tomorrow. And funny enough, I think it was Alex Becker. He basically said that the SaaS landscape is changing so much that every week it feels like you have to put out a month's worth of updates to your users, or you feel like you're falling behind. The pace is unprecedented in tech history. All right, so we've never seen this before. That's why you may even feel uncomfortable or overwhelmed. And don't worry, that's totally fine. So the path is uncertain. And that's why I'm going to help you try to navigate that as best as I can. And nobody knows exactly where this leads. I mean, AGI timelines shift. Some people like to talk about it, others don't. But really, the goalpost, as I said before, changes every other day. And regulations evolve. So today's regulations might not be tomorrow's. And current capabilities, I mean, surprise even the experts, even the founders that are developing these technologies are surprised by what it's capable of doing. And the opportunity is massive, as you already know. You can kind of download Anti-Gravity or Claude Code and kind of start developing your own app, your own platforms, software even. I think we're in the era of micro SaaS. But nonetheless, early adopters will have a massive edge for years to come. Okay, because you got to realize majority of the public has no idea this is taking place. Okay, sure, they hear the sound bites, sure, maybe they see the news headlines, but really when it comes to using these and understanding AI, not too many people do. And so the cool thing is the skills you build now compound rapidly. So maybe you're learning marketing. My background is marketing, and the things now I can do that used to take a very long time, maybe it was creating a landing page, I can create in kind of minutes because now I have the skill there. And now with the enhancement of AI, I can do it very quickly. And now I can start learning a bunch of other things. And so now what you're doing is you're widening your toolkit. And so the gap between AI fluent and AI ignorant widens daily, and it becomes very clear who's using these tools and who is not using these tools. However, the main caveat is don't lose your humanity in the process. We'll talk about this more down the line, but this is a key component of learning AI. You cannot lose your humanity in the process. Balance is everything. And so where would I even begin learning AI in 2026? It's got to be with creating a solid foundation so that we can build upon all the knowledge you're going to learn. And the best place to learn right now is through books. And so there are some great books. I did a video about this, but really start with the right foundation is key, and read with pen in hand and take handwritten notes. Like I said, don't lose the humanity, and research obviously shows that if you write it down, you remember a lot more. And so for beginners, if you really are just entering the AI space now and you want to kind of get a feel for it because you maybe been on X or any social platform and you realize AI is taking over, for beginners, the 3 books I would read is Life 3.0 by Max Tegmark, really good book. Genesis by Eric Schmidt, and Superintelligence by Nick Bostrom. Really gives you a core understanding of where things are currently, what are some bottlenecks, and what the future might ultimately look like. And for practitioners, it's a little different, but there's 2 resources I would recommend: hands-on learning and also the AI engineering. Those 2 will give you a phenomenal understanding because it coincides with what you are currently doing if you are using these tools. And then for advanced learners, power of prediction, very important. The singularing is near, and then why machines learn. And so if you're looking for more books to read, I did a full video. I'll link up above. And this kind of gives you the knowledge and puts you kind of in the 1% of individuals when it comes to AI. Now, when it comes to education, right now, again, there's not too many textbooks you can read because a lot of that hasn't caught up. And so you're kind of looking at social media or even podcasts. Now, for me, I love podcasts. If I'm driving, I'll put on a podcast, whatever it may be. I'm trying to consume as much information as possible. And so if you're not necessarily a reader or you don't like to read books, that's fine. I still encourage you to pick up those books. But podcasts might be something for you. And so these are massive opportunities, little gaps in your schedule that you can potentially keep learning. And so the few ones I would probably look towards are TWIML AI Podcast. This is a really good podcast. It's on Apple Podcasts. It covers deep technical interviews with researchers and other kind of prominent figures in the space. It's perfect for understanding cutting edge developments and research breakthroughs. And next, we have the Dwarkesh Podcast. It's got to be top 3 of mine. I love this podcast. It is phenomenal. This podcast alone will give you such great insight into the space. It talks about AGI, alignment, and existential questions. And also it does cover deep conversations about where this all is headed. And then we have the AI Daily Brief. If you don't have much time, because a lot of these podcasts are 45 to an hour and even longer, the AI Daily Brief is for you. These are 10 to 15 minute little chunks of solid information, kind of a daily news breakdown, right? So you can stay up with current events without these massive time commitments like these other podcasts. Now, Moonshots is another phenomenal podcast. Again, it's got to be within the top 3 of mine. Peter Diamandis does a phenomenal job of asking questions, getting prominent figures on, and really just talking about the news and everything changing. And his panel is phenomenal. So I would say Dwarkesh's podcast is awesome and Moonshots is awesome. Those are longer podcast videos. And if that doesn't work for you, just go to the AI Daily Brief. But with Moonshots, we learn from Peter Diamandis about exponential technologies and abundance mindset and other bold entrepreneur thinking. And again, the panel he has there is top notch. And then lastly, we have AI for Humans. It's an approachable and entertaining podcast, great for staying engaged without getting overwhelmed by jargon that maybe some of the other podcasts have. Now let's kind of actually enter the practical side, which is super important. So mastering AI, we need to get hands-on and start experimenting. So once we have a foundation through the books, through the podcasts, and we understand really what kind of AI is and how it works, true AI mastery comes from hands-on experimentation. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start playing around with these tools, LLMs and chatbots. So experiment with ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini, create projects on Claude, create GBTs, create gems on Gemini, X, Y, and Z. Just try to break the LLM, and trust me, you will gain significant insight on actually how to use these. Master prompt engineering. It's big at the moment. Maybe further down the road, it won't become as important because I think just in general, these things are going to be super, super smart. But master prompt engineering for today's current LLM. The difference between a proficient prompter and a not so proficient prompter is massive in the output that it's going to give you. So if you want a competitive advantage, learn prompt engineering. Understand AI strengths and how to prevent hallucinations. No one wants anything hallucinating. So the quicker you learn how to kind of mitigate hallucinations, the better for you and your output. Next, we have image generation, which is kind of taking over the creative space, especially image generation and video, but create stunning visuals with Midjourney, DALL-E, and all-in-one tools like Higgsfield or FreePic. Get some subscriptions and start playing around with these tools. Learn precise prompting to bring your ideas to life. That's why we're going to learn prompting. Specialized tools, for instance, I've kind of mentioned some, but Runway, VO, Kling, kind of for your video, for your code, Cursor, Copilot, Gemini, Anti-Gravity. Audio, create sounds with 11 Labs, and you can all kind of combine that into a video while you're kind of mashing all these tools together. And so if you're already using these specialized tools, let's go a little deeper. So the next stage would be to learn the architecture of these LLMs or even AI. And so understanding how AI works transforms you from user to practitioner, and that's kind of the next level. Understanding how LLMs predict the next token. Like, what does that mean? What are tokens? Furthermore, what training data actually means and kind of what does the training look like? A lot of people say we are training this model and X, Y, and Z. So understanding that verbiage, actually understanding what that looks like is crucial. And then why AI hallucinates and how to spot it so that when you actually do get an output or you're trying to build something, you know the truth. Level number 2 would be technical foundations. So transformers and attention mechanisms, neural networks, kind of the basics of it and how they learn, and then CNNs for images. That would be a great start for level 2. Level 3 would be actually the hands-on building. So Python basics for AI applications, working with APIs and integrations, actually having a more integrated suite if you are building something, and then fine-tuning models for specific use cases. Those are the 3 levels I would be learning right now if I already am using those specialized tools. tools. Now, there is a critical distinction, and it's important to note that don't just vibe code. So as I made a video all about vibe coding, kind of the lie of it, where it looks great on the front end, but on the back end or beneath the surface, it's not all that great. There are tons of vulnerabilities, and inherently there are tons of errors. So you have to be very careful. A lot of people just think you can kind of create something, which yes, you can, but to some degree, you kind of have to pass it on to a developer or someone more specialized in that field. So vibe coding, for instance, it's build me an app with zero understanding. Copy paste code without review. There's security vulnerabilities baked in. There's no ability to debug when things break. For instance, if I'm creating a website, sometimes I will have to prompt this thing, Claude Code or whatever it may be. I would have to prompt this thing multiple times, and sometimes it still doesn't do it while telling you it did do it. And that becomes an issue. And so AI assisted development is kind of the next step. So understand why every line of code, what it does, what it means, use AI to accelerate, but not replace your thinking ideation, but more so guide you and help you create. Review every line before implementation, as that's super important. So learn enough to be dangerous, but in a good way. And so how to kind of tie this together is make it personal. So AI use cases by profession. So whatever your profession is, that's where I would start to kind of adopt and utilize these tools. So for instance, if you're a personal trainer, maybe you can create a personal trainer app. I've kind of done that before, and it's very cool because you can learn while still actually being in the domain of your interests. If you're a marketer, maybe it's ad copy generation. Again, maybe it's creating images or video with AI. If it's day trading, maybe using Python scripts for pattern recognition in markets and what have you. Maybe a creative professional, you can do, again, image generation or anything in the creative realm. And a business owner, maybe it's automating some type of thing like email or customer service. But start where you're naturally good at with your talents, kind of your profession, your domain, and go from there. And so it's super important to have AI as your life infrastructure. What do I mean by that? It's your personal support team. So by now, if you are not using AI for every domain of your life, for instance, therapist, fitness coach, life coach, accountant, financial planner, you are using these LLMs wrong, and you're just really not kind of using them to the best of their ability. So for instance, an AI therapist, it's a 24/7 emotional support and journaling. Companion, fitness coach, it's personalized workout programming. Fitness coaches, right? You can now create your own stuff that's tailored to you. A life coach, goal setting, accountability tracking. Traditionally, you would spend thousands and thousands, maybe monthly or yearly, for these type of services. And so I implore you to start using this type of infrastructure for your life. But like I said before, it's important to note, don't forget what makes you human. Now, it is cope to think that we're still going to need to be creative and all this stuff. No, AI is totally going to take that away. But from a philosophical standpoint, don't forget what makes you human. So AI amplifies who you are. If you lose your core skills in humanity, life is going to become very dull and you're going to be questioning everything. And so in that case, you'll have nothing worth amplifying. So keep doing things manually, right? Like I said, handwritten notes and to-do lists are super important. Play music, pick up an instrument, draw, create art. Don't forget the things that make you who you are, even though AI will replace all of that. But from a philosophical and purpose standpoint, keep doing the things that make you you. And so lastly, the 90-day action plan. This is what I want you to do. So month 1, you're going to read one beginner AI book or anything from that beginner to advanced portion of things. Subscribe to 2 to 3 AI podcasts. Create accounts on any type of platform. Daily 30-minute prompt exploration. Month 2 is kind of the application part. So apply AI to your specific domain, like I said prior. Build one actual project for your work. Again, that could be Claude Code, that could be anti-gravity. Just start playing around with these tools. Learn basic Python, and then study one technical concept deeply and continue a handwritten reflection. Month 3 is kind of the integration part. So create your AI support system, right? What are you kind of lacking in? Is it finances? Is it fitness? Is it health? Whatever it may be, start utilizing these tools to, 1, make it easier for you to achieve those goals, and 2, just to give some insight within those domains. Develop personal AI workflows. AI automation is a great place to start. Share learnings with others, and then build portfolio of AI assisted work. Assets will take on a whole new meaning, and I do think if you're looking at buying a business, you're going to want to buy the AI automation or the AI workflows or the AI agents that CEO or that founder has implemented within the business. That's going to be massively valuable. So start today building up AI assisted workflows, and then maintain analog practices. Again, don't forget what makes you human. Still do those manually. So in 2026, this is kind of your roadmap to really kickstart you from where you are to advanced or to the next step. Thank you very much. And as always, I'll see you later.